We're in a space race today, just as we were in the 1960s. And the stakes are even higher.
And China has made a lot of progress. Since 2018, it has sent more rockets than any other country and has become the second biggest spender in space programs.
Today I am going to speak about those topics in which 0.001% of the global population would have been thinking about it. If you wish to be the one, stay tuned and listen it very carefully. India started launching rockets into the space in 1960s. At that time, many people objected it by saying that this money would have well spent in various poverty alleviation programs. In 1980s, when India started launching satellites into the space, many people objected it by saying that this money would have well spent in various welfare schemes such as health, education, various other fields. On contradictory to all critical comments, within the next 2 decades, it gave greatest benefit to the humanity in various sectors such as land survey, disaster management, agriculture, and various many other sectors. One of the greatest achievement of the India space program was that discovery of water on the moon in 2008. Before going into in-depth analysis, if I can say it in one sentence which might give you a goosebumps, that is, the future space potential is more than $1 quadrillion. If you could able to guess the number of zeros over the screen, you are as great as any other scientist in the world. Jokes apart, when there is a large economy is involved, there is a greater geopolitical competition to gain that. So today in this video, let me talk about the science, economics, and geopolitics behind that. Before going further, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now let us look little bit into the science. Let us take the Earth. So here is the Earth. Earth is tilted 23.5 degree from its orbital axis. So we do have days and nights and variability in the seasons. When we go from the equator to the polar region, there is a declining in the sunlight. On the other hand, now let us take the Moon. Moon has an orbital tilt of 1.5 degree and there is no much variation in the days and nights, and there are no seasons on the moon. In some places such as Shackleton crater, which has a sunlight availability of 300 days, and there is also plenty of water in the solid state. So from the sunlight we can able to produce electricity. From the electricity we can able to produce the green hydrogen by the process of electrolysis of water, and this fuel can be used as a future space travel as well as setting up of lunar space station in the future times. To manage the extraterritorial resources means the territories which are out of our jurisdiction such as Antarctica, Arctic and oceans. We have lot of treaties, agreements and protocol. But when it comes to the space, we don't have any such treaties and protocols except Outer Space Treaty of 1968. By looking at its date, you can identify that it is an outdated one. Outer Space Treaty of 1968 considers space as a global commons and the resources from the space must be shared equitably and fair manner. You just imagine when we have lot of treaties and agreements, many of the countries does not follow it on the earth. How will they going to follow on the space? It is a big question for a humanity. Already China announced to set up a lunar research station on the southern pole of the moon, exactly the Shackleton crater. So it is not surpriseful in the future if it claims Shackleton crater as its own by saying that our ancestors knew the knowledge about the Shackleton crater. The same strategy it is following to claim Arunachal Pradesh, Taiwan and the other Tibetan regions. Now let us dig deep into the geopolitics. Moon was a hotspot during the 1960s mainly because of Cold War contenders such as USA and USSR, and it was neither to do with any scientific objective nor had any futuristic vision. It was just to show off their power at the global level. But as soon as the Soviet Union collapsed in 1990s, craze for Moon was just shattered. But now it is once again reviving mainly due to some geopolitical ambition. Before looking into it, let us see the trends in the space politics. There is a clear-cut bipolarization is going on in the space politics. Bipolar means there are two groups. The first group is led by Uncle Sam under the Artemis Accord, and India is also part of it. And the second group is led by China. It is called as Changi Mission. Russia and North Korea are a part of it. And both the groups wants to dominate the moon by 2035. Nowadays, all the countries wish to dominate the moon, especially the southern pole of the moon, and India created the history, becoming the first country to touch down on the southern pole of the moon.
It's just historic India became first country to touch down on the southern pole of the moon. It is a great achievement in the space science.
In the future times, moon can be used as a lunar gateway for the outer space. For example, when a flight travel from India to US, it stops in between somewhere in European countries, and European countries acts as a fueling station. So in the same way, same analogy applies here. The moon can be used as a gas station or a refueling station for planetary travels such as Mars, Saturn, or outer space. Now you can able to see the surface of the moon. Surface of the moon has a very large crater. For example, Akan Basin in the southern pole, it has a depth of 7 to 8 kilometer. By going into such a depth, we can able to analyze the geological structure, because around 4.5 billion years ago, Earth and Moon were together. Later, during the Big Bang time, it got separated. Might have read it in your school textbooks. So, by analyzing the Moon's surface and geological structure, we can able to predict the more accurately about the evolutionary feature of the Earth. And also, there are always a possibility of new scientific discoveries and inventions. One of the most interesting feature of the moon is that plenty of availability of helium-3. Helium-3 is those elements which are produced during the nuclear fusion reaction of the sun and other stars. And it is not available on the earth, mainly due to the magnetic field which prevents the solar flash to enter into the earth. On the contrary, moon has plenty of helium-3 because it does not have any magnetic field, and helium-3 can act as a sustainable fuel for the future humanity. We can't able to uphold the legacy of cryptocurrency, electrical vehicles, and quantum computing and many other sectors, mainly because of the lack of availability of sustainable energy or a green energy. But if we could able to achieve the nuclear fusion by using the helium-3, we can able to carry forward the industrial revolution to the next level. In English, a saying is that history repeats like a stories and rhymes with the future. The invention of the sieving machine and the engine helped Britain to dominate whole world for 100 plus years. The invention of nuclear bomb helped USA to dominate whole world for 70 plus years and counting. And in the upcoming generation, those who will going to invent energy related aspects such as nuclear fusion, they will going to dominate the whole world for upcoming generation. It may be India, China, or US again. Due to these potential benefits, all the countries wants to dominate the moon. China already bombarded many places of the moon, also bringing many materials from moon to the earth for testing and the research purpose. Will China ever going to succeed in the race? If China wins the race, what kind of world order will it be, and how the geopolitics gets changed? What position India have in such a world order? If India wins, also what kind of the situation will the world politics can see? Only time can say the answer to this. Before ending the video, let us see the space economics in a very crisp manner. Listen
If
this.
there is a manned mission to Mars, can I ask you bluntly how much money is required?
Too much money. For example, if you just want to go to moon and go and send a man on moon, we'll have to spend at least 2 lakh crores
For one.
for that first mission to take place.
I hope you enjoyed the new learnings on the space race. I tried my level best to democratize the topics which are on the high table. If you like my video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you.